Chapter 13. Form your own practice group. I want you to come as close as possible, through reading this book, to developing your mental abilities as we do in mind control classes. It will take steady, prolonged, but pleasant application. So far, the exercises I have given you can be practiced alone. In a month or two, when you become proficient, you will be ready for the case work just described. At that point you will need help from others, under carefully controlled conditions. Here is what to do. Before you even begin the first exercise in this book, form a group of at least 6 compatible people, who will also learn to practice the exercises. Keep in touch as you progress, and when everyone is ready, when everyone has really mastered the exercises, meet to begin case work. Allow at least an entire day for the first session. Everyone will bring at least 4 file cards, each with the name, age, and location of a seriously ailing person on one side and the nature of the ailment on the other. Put in plenty of details. These will help when it comes time for verification. Begin by mentally projecting yourselves into metal. You will not have cubes or cylinders of metals as we have in our classes. You can use dimes and pennies for silver and copper, a ring for gold, a small magnet for iron. You should all examine these objects carefully, then go to your level and imagine one object at a time, picturing it several feet in front of you, above eye level. Imagine the object expanding until it is almost the size of the room, then enter it and perform the various tests. Do the same with fruits and vegetables, and finally a pet. You can consider these exercises a success when everyone has felt a distinct difference between his examinations of one object and another. It is not necessary that results of each test be clear and detailed, only that the total experience of each object be distinct from the experience of other objects. Your impressions may turn out to be entirely different from someone else's. No matter, the important thing is what you find, that becomes your reference point. I have not yet developed a way, through the printed page, of helping you evoke counselors. If you are able somehow to do this on your own, fine, but you can proceed perfectly well without them, though your progress may be slower. For case work, pair off exactly as we do in mind control classes. In Chapter 12 you will find the words the orientalogist speaks to the psychic as he presents the case. These are exactly the ones we use in class, and I suggest your group use them, too. I mentioned that you should do this under carefully controlled conditions. Here is what I mean. 1. Select a quiet place where you are unlikely to be interrupted or disturbed. 2. Be sure that every member of the group has practiced all the exercises in this book, in proper order, and has been successful with them. 3. Agree beforehand that there will be no ego trips. Someone in the group will probably succeed more spectacularly than the rest, at first. This does not mean that he is the best, or in any sense superior, he has simply succeeded first. Some may not begin to operate psychically until the 5th or 6th meeting, but the slowest often turn out to be the best psychics. 4. If you know a mind control graduate, ask him to join you. If he has kept up with his mind control, he will be of immense help. If he has let it slip, a brief refresher with this book or another go around with a mind control class, he can do this free of charge, will bring him back. 5. When you are the psychic, set your doubts aside and dive right in. Listen to your hunches, guess, but above all, do not try to reason out your findings. Do not say, "Oh, that can't be," and wait for another impression. What occurs to you on the first thought is more often correct than what occurs on second thought. Keep talking. Scan the body from top to bottom and describe what you see. 6. When you are the orientalogist, do not hint. You want your psychic to succeed, but it will not help if you say, "Go back now to the chest." Sure, nothing is wrong there. Do not tell the psychic he is wrong. In the early stages, when there may be the greatest number of misses, what often happens is that the psychic picks up other cases rather than the one he is working on. The error is relatively minor and can be corrected with a little practice. Discouraging words from the psychorientologist can bring progress to a halt. Simply say, "I have no information on that." 7. Be patient. If more than 500,000 people like you have succeeded, surely you will, too. It may take you longer working alone and with an informal group, but why rush? 8. Once everyone becomes routinely successful with case work, keep your group together, keep meeting, keep working cases together. You will become better and better at it until one day soon you will be able to work cases alone, becoming more sensitive to the subtle messages of everyday life rather than only to the more powerful ones of serious illness. 9. Do not use anyone who is present as a case. There is a legal distinction between doing this and working on someone who is at a distance. In the first instance it is diagnosis, which must be left to licensed physicians and health caretakers. In the second instance it is psychic detection, which is perfectly all right with the law. 10. When you discover an abnormality in a case you are working, do not rush to give him the news. This is his physician's job. Yours is to develop your psychic abilities so that you can help him and others psychical and legally. Simply correct mentally what you detect. You detect mentally, so correct mentally. I warned earlier in this chapter against reading too much meaning into who succeeds first. I learned this lesson in a powerful way when I was teaching one of my earlier classes in 1967. One of the students was a flight instructor, Jim Needham. Everything was going well for him until the last day of the course. Every case he worked was 100% miss. No one else in the class of 32 did so poorly. However, Jim saw others doing well, with one direct hit after another. If they could, he could, so he devised his own plan for practicing at home with his wife, who had taken the course with him. She clipped newspaper stories of accident victims, and each night, at level, he would try to work the cases, she giving him their names, ages, sex, and locations, lie describing their injuries. Along with this, she read him names from the yellow pages and he tried to guess their occupations. 6 months of 100% misses, then came a breakthrough. He successfully worked his first case. Then another and still another. He is now with me in Laredo, in charge of training mind control instructors, and is one of our most reliable psychics. In fact, Jim can now operate psychically without going to level. It is part of his everyday living. One evening, at Beta, or Outer Consciousness, Jim was helping a class through the exercise for evoking counselors. He saw a giant black man, dressed in gold brocaded robes and wearing a wide, jeweled bracelet, approach one of the students. The student rejected him, and he approached another, then disappeared into his aura. When the exercise was over, the first student reported that she had only one counselor. 2 had appeared, but the male one was Othello. He looked too fearsome. The second student exclaimed, "I got Othello." He didn't come right away, but there he was at the end of the exercise. You may not have to persevere as long as Jim Needham did, that is very rare, but if success takes longer to come to you, it does not mean that you have no psychic gift. It means nothing more than that success is taking longer to come to you.